Let's join our commentary team at Stamford Bridge to find out.
Hey, very good afternoon to you, and what's more, a very happy Christmas. Welcome to Stamford Bridge for the first action in the Barclays Premier League since Christmas, and what a festive cracker this one promises to be. A Chelsea side who haven't lost at home in the Barclays Premier League in nearly 4 years now, against the Villa one that's pretty strong on the road. They have only lost once away in the last 9 months. And a little bit of Christmas spice to it as well, the fact that Villa have already tasted success against the champions this season. They are looking to become the first side in over 4 years to get the double against the side in blue. Martin O'Neill's side, of course, taking on a different face in the Chelsea dugout now. There have been plenty of changes since these two sides met back in September. But Avram has secured Chelsea's passage through difficult times recently. 6 points they are off the Premiership summit, albeit for an hour or so they could narrow that gap to just 3 to the current leaders Arsenal. Might have seen him down there in the tunnel a few moments ago. Petr Cech pass fit, and that has got a giant cheer from another healthy crowd here at Stamford Bridge for this comparatively early kick-off here on Boxing Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Aston Villa and Chelsea.
Perfect footballing conditions greets the two teams. The mist and chills of the last few days over London has cleared. Blue skies overhead and lovely mild conditions. Should be a tough test for Chelsea. Martin O'Neill has Aston Villa going pretty well, although they have stuttered recently without a win in their last 4 games. Chelsea will know that they'll be in for a real test here against a Villa side who are settled and growing in confidence game by game. Always so important over Christmas, and particularly important for Avram Grant in his first congested Christmas period as manager of Chelsea. Oh, what a boost for Chelsea. 3 days after limping off at Blackburn, Petr Cech starts for the home side. Its health softened the blow with top scorer Didier Drogba and captain John Terry still on the sidelines. Only one change from the Ewood Park win, and a change in formation too. Claudio Pizarro gets his first Premier League start since August. He joins Andrei Shevchenko up front. John Obi Mikel makes way. Without a win in 4 now, Aston Villa, but without the squad to shuffle things too much. The same side here from the 1-1 draw against Manchester City at the weekend. Stilian Petrov was ready to return, but he's sidelined with illness. Sean Maloney keeps his place. So Villa field the same starting 11 that inflicted defeat on Chelsea back in September. Interesting battles and sideshows all over the pitch here as the two sides seem to match up in terms of formation with those 4-4-2s, and two battlers in the England midfield as well, wearing the captain's armband. Frank Lampard, who was temporarily dislodged in the centre of the international side by Gareth Barry before coming back for England's abortive attempt to qualify for Euro 2008 against Croatia. Phil Dowd is our match referee here this afternoon. Had a lively outing the last time he took charge of a Premier League game. Gave 2 penalties and sent off 1 player as Spurs crashed to defeat against Blackburn Rovers. Seldom done when Martin O'Neill is around and one of his sides. They come to West London looking for a double. Well, last Christmas Chelsea gave away their title. 3 back-to-back draws at this time of year. represented too much ground to make up in the end for Jose Mourinho's side. 6 points dropped at Christmas, 6 points the ultimate gap between Chelsea and the top. And as it stands, as they prepare to kick off and underway for this festive programme, 6 points again separates them from the Premier League summit. So another Christmas for Chelsea, another one without key players. No Didier Drogba, their joint top scorer. No John Terry, their inspirational captain. Similarities with last year, but no doubt about it, Trevor, they will have had a massive boost with the news that Petr Cech is fit to start.
I think it surprised everyone. Nobody anticipated Petr Cech being available, but I'm sure that they're absolutely delighted about it. Look forward to an interesting encounter this afternoon. Both teams playing 4-4-2. But at the moment, Agbon Lahore is started on the right-hand side of midfield. We're obviously expecting him to be up front alongside John Carew, but it's Sean Maloney who started in that position.
Touched on it earlier, but interesting to note that this is the same Villa starting lineup that got the better of Chelsea, and deservedly so, back in September when they won by 2-0 at Villa Park. Agbon Lahore, one of the scorers that night as well. Chelsea, just 4 of their starting lineup start here, and it's Agbon Lahore looking to make mischief early on and rattles one just wide of Petr Cech's goal.
Well, it's quite clear that Martin O'Neill's intentions are to try and get Agbon Lahore having a go at Ashley Cole, and he does that immediately. Takes possession, comes on the inside of Cole and then hits it early into the near post area, but Petr Cech has it covered and allows the ball to go harmlessly into the side netting.
6 goals this season, including that one that sealed the win against Chelsea. Well, they've enjoyed themselves recently against the side in blue. Chelsea haven't beaten Villa in the last 4 games. Chelsea haven't even scored against the side from Birmingham in the last 2 matches. Meaningful challenge in there by Nigel Reo-Coker, and the captain Gareth Barry carries forward, sets it up on his left. Opportunity here, and Cech again is tested at his near post, although yet again it finds its way into the side netting.
Well, Ashley Young believes that Petr Cech got a touch to that. It was great play from Gareth Barry. Tries to beat Petr Cech at the near post, and quite clearly he gets a touch to it. Probably wouldn't have gone in, but he made sure by turning it away for a corner. And Phil Dowd, nor the linesman, saw that.
Villa starting brightly, looking to catch Chelsea a little bit cold perhaps. Here's Michael Essien. Cech, he was hoping for a nice quiet reintroduction to the Premier League fray. He hasn't got it. Now first chance for Chelsea to get forward with their Peruvian Pizarro. Will settle for the first corner of the game. So dangerous from set pieces so often, Avram Grant's side, and Lampard will take. Here comes Alex Kalou in there as well, so too Pizarro. They've dealt with it, and they have plenty of height back now. The giant figure of Zat Knight among them. Busy work from Maloney to unsettle Paulo Ferreira. And the corner kick is Aston Villa's reward.
Well, he didn't deal with that particularly well, Paulo Ferreira. Once he allowed that ball to bounce, then he put himself in difficulty.
Well, Aston Villa's opening goal against Chelsea earlier on this season came from a situation just like this. That night, rising highest. First test for Chelsea, helped on by Larsson, and Petr Cech gets it away. See why they wanted him in there. Only conceded 1 goal, Petr Cech, in his last 7 Premier League games. Gareth Barry's corner. Cech thought about coming. Stooping to head was Ricardo Carvalho, and the Portuguese defender's done well for Chelsea. He's provided a platform for attack. The touch there by Paulo Ferreira. Now John Carew. Larsson has stayed forward. Maloney in the penalty area. And Alex forced to surrender yet another corner to Villa.
Well, Villa win a corner, but they could so easily have been in trouble because Joe Cole broke on the counter-attack And Paulo Ferreira caught in possession. If he had released him, then Joko would have had a free run on goal.
Ashley Young with the Whitton corner. Check did very well. Maybe fresh in his mind, he was caught out recently for that only goal he's conceded in the last 7 games from a corner kick in the defeat against Arsenal. The only blemish on Chelsea's recent record. And they've only lost 3 times this season. Once away to Manchester United, once away to Arsenal, and once against this lot, of course. Heavily weaved through there by Joe Cole, who has started, as we expected, out on the right of that midfield, Trevor.
Yes, it's a 4-4-2 most clearly that Chelsea are playing. Joko obviously in good, confident mood, having got that all-important winner at Ewood Park, and what a good goal it was.
Both his last 2 goals for Avram Grant's side have turned out to be absolutely vital winners in 1-0 victories. There was the one here against West Ham United, of course, as well. Lively start to the game. And Chelsea were under any illusions that Aston Villa were going to come here with any air of caution about them. And I think you've seen in the opening minutes that Villa have come here meaning to find the path back to winning ways. It's been 4 without a win for them now. Perhaps lucky to get a draw away at Sunderland, a disallowed goal. Perhaps unlucky not to get all 3 points last time out against Manchester City. They had much the better of the game. Here's Cole, Essien, Lampard. With the absence of John Terry, timely return from the back problems that has blighted Ricardo Carvalho's season, to have him make up the numbers at the back. Now, was Ashley Cole blocked off there? He felt he was, as Akpom Lahore matched him stride for stride. Nothing given though.
Well, 6-1 half dozen the other, wasn't it? And obviously the majority of the supporters here today are supporting Chelsea. They felt that Akpom Lahore committed the first foul on Ashley Cole. That's going to be an interesting confrontation, isn't it? Because I mentioned that Akpom Lahore is playing on the right. Part of his duty, of course, is to try and stop Cole from getting forward.
Here's Maloney into John Carew. Goodness me, he was back in the nick of time, wasn't he, Michael Essien? John Carew looking for his 2nd goal in as many games. Maloney, one of Melbourne. Another corner kick for Aston Villa, and they're chalking them up early on.
Certainly an enterprising start from Villa.
Barry, the left footer from the right-hand side. Carvalho rose highest. And Joko just delaying the passage onto the ball of Ashley Young, who gets the better of Pizarro, fizzed across by Young for Carew. Great worked opportunity, and Carew with a great chance to open the scoring.
Brilliant play from Ashley Young. Slips it through the legs here of Pizarro as he comes to close him down. And it's a great ball in the box. Carew really should have done better. It was right on his head. Didn't have to move. Good opportunity. And Carew really should have put Aston Villa in the lead.
Starting to make the chances though more regularly, starting to make Chelsea uncomfortable at the back on a more regular basis, and Akpom Lahore taking on 3, and in the end the weight of Chelsea numbers too much. Kalou had his shirt pulled by Gabriel Akpom Lahore, and a free kick for Chelsea.
Well, Phil Dowd is, I think, going to be rather lenient with Gabi Akpom Lahore, because on another day, shirt pulling is normally an automatic yellow card.
A little bit of festive leniency from the man in the middle, Phil Dowd. Wilfred Bouma, the Dutch international, looks for the big Norwegian John Carew. Pizarro, Ferreira, Essien, Shevchenko. Robust challenge by Nigel Reo-Coker, midfield enforcer for Villa, but now Michael Essien, Shevchenko. By his opposite number 7, Ashley Young. That's a great ball in. Kalou, terrific save by Scott Carson. Kalou must have thought that he was about to tap it in. Wouldn't have counted anyway, the flag up, but Chelsea's best worked opportunity so far nonetheless.
It's a good early ball in from Ferreira from the right hand side. Kalou, I think, goes a little bit too early. Well, it was very tight, wasn't it? I'm not so sure that he was offside. I think he was in line with Melberg, but it was brave goalkeeping by Carson. He knew he had to be brave, going down at the feet of Kalou.
Carew. Ashley Young, good support from Gareth Barry. Corner kick, Villa again.
Well, Aston Villa have made their intentions very clear this afternoon. They've come here on a mission. They're looking to try and win this game. They've been very dominant in this early part and probably deserve to be in the lead.
Ashley Young, Alex uses his bulk to get in the way. Joe Cole having to defend from the front again. Carvalho. So many Chelsea players being kept so busy early on here, and the relief of a free kick, and it is a relief.
Phil Dowd obviously saw something that I didn't quite see. Martin Larsson was very upset about the decision, as were one or two other Villa players. They thought it wasn't a problem.
Everything but the goal in the first 12 minutes or so for Aston Villa. So many sides during Chelsea's long unbeaten home run in the Premier League have come here and shut up shop. Jose Mourinho famously talked about sides coming in and parking the bus in front of goal. And that's certainly not Aston Villa's approach here today. They mean to bring this run of Chelsea's to an end.
I think you play to your strengths in football, and that's what Martin O'Neill feels with the team that he's got here. They're very good going forward. Got some young, exciting strikers in Young and Agbon Lahore. The vastly experienced Carew, who's always a handful to play against with his huge frame. Makes it so difficult for centre-halves.
It's an exciting blend he's got together here, isn't it? A few eyebrows raised when best part of £9 million spent on Ashley Young, but really he has stepped up to the table this season, combined with the continental experience of Carew, who's played many years in the Champions League. There's a vibrancy about Aston Villa, particularly the way they've started here. Ashley Cole missed out. Simon Kalou did not, but Agbon Lahore has stolen back for the visitors, looking for Carew, and this could be a goal. It is! Sean Maloney opens the scoring for Aston Villa. They lead at Stamford Bridge.
And richly deserved. They've been the much better side in these early 13 minutes of this game, and this was an excellent work goal. Well finished from Maloney. Carew did his bit, and so did Agbon Lahore. Finds Carew, who's onside, heads it back across to his striking partner Maloney, one-on-one against Petr Cech, and he finishes with style. Good header from Carew, takes it on the volley, does Maloney, to beat Petr Cech.
Chelsea are breached. Chelsea are up against it. Villa lead. Lampard. Pizarro. Back to Lampard.
Well, it's the first time we've seen anything of Frank Lampard in this game. Plays a very good 1-2 with Pizarro. Unfortunately, the finish didn't match the build-up.
Well, there was a lot of speculation, Trevor, before the game over whether Sean Maloney would start the match if Stilian Petrov hadn't picked up the bug. He may well have been looking on from the sidelines, but with Sean Maloney scoring away for Aston Villa just as he did at Sunderland. Spectacular free kick at the Stadium of Light. Close range effort here, both just as important. Pizarro. Lampard. Joe Cole.
To the Aston Villa supporters, particularly those in the lower tier,
Carvalho's missed it. No harm done that time.
It's an afternoon like this, Bill, when you actually miss John Terry with his heading ability against the likes of John Carew. Early on, there are signs that Carvalho and Alex, they don't relish the physical confrontation they're going to have this afternoon with big John Carew.
Carew, whose performance against Manchester City last time out was hailed as immense by his manager. On his day, he is nothing short of that. And he does tend to save the best for when he takes on the best. Vital supporting role in that Sean Maloney opener, and let's not forget an excellent chance from that Ashley Young cross a few moments before to have put Chelsea behind. Essien, Paulo Ferreira, Lampard, Kalou, Pizarro. Good hold-up play from John Carew, Barry and Baumer. And Bonlahor. Kalou comes across to help out Ashley Cole. Melberg now. Maloney. Showed too much of that to Ashley Cole. Essien. Shevchenko. Joe Cole. Fizzed in towards him. Andrei Shevchenko. Held up by his former AC Milan teammate Martin Larsson. Now Bonlahor, got support from Maloney. Chelsea free kick, advantage played by Phil Dowd. Can they make it count? Pizarro. Lampard. Cole. Paulo Ferreira. Just starting to string a few passes together. Chelsea. Lampard. Kalou. Shevchenko called for the early ball, more measured from Salomon Kalou, who finds Frank Lampard looking for his 100th goal. Won't come this time. 99 not out so far for Frank Lampard for Chelsea. Terrific pass forward from Bonlahor. And Michael Essien is going to find himself in the referee's book.
We saw a good example there of the pace of Bonlahor when he's got possession of that ball. Initially goes away from Cole. It's left to Essien to track him down. He was going away from Essien, and Essien fouls him and goes into the book as a result of this challenge.
A suspension to follow for Michael Essien. It will be slightly academic. He'll miss the FA Cup tie here against Queen's Park Rangers. He'll probably have jetted off for African Cup of Nations duty by then anyway. Carew, the target, no surprise there. Bonlahor, goodness me, looks in the mood, and he fires that across the face of Czech's goal.
Another chance for Villa. Once again, the combination of Carew and Bonlahor very much in evidence. Carvalho can't deal with it. Bonlahor gets in behind Kalou. Difficult angle, but probably should have hit the target.
Kalou. He saw a hint of a gap there and was upended by Nigel Reo-Coker, who saw the danger, but danger is clear and present from this situation.
clearly takes the leg, does Rio Coker, of Kalou, in what will be a very dangerous position for Aston Villa to defend this free kick. Alex is a wonderful striker of the ball, as is Shevchenko. And let's not forget Frank Lampard, who's hovering.
Well, the way they're set up, it looks like Lampard might be third in the queue, or he might be teed up by one of the other Chelsea trident waiting to strike this. Messages coming from the Chelsea bench towards Andrei Shevchenko. He's trying to get it across. Chelsea feel the wall is not in a full distance back. Shevchenko. Well, the wall did its job. Shevchenko dispossessed by Agbon Lahore. Carew sets off. Carvalho comes across, he's missed it. Carew trying to get his way through. The athleticism of Essien just got his body between man and ball. Just sense though, Trevor, Chelsea do not know how to contain this Aston Villa threat.
Well, they've got problems at both ends of the field because they can't deal with Carew. They're not enjoying the pace of Agbon Lahore nor Ashley Young in wide areas, and up front, without Drogba, they really do lack pace. Pizarro and Shevchenko are decent hold-up players, but they can't run in behind Aston Villa.
Aston Villa's free kick, more concerningly for Chelsea. Trevor just mentioned the two men they are without. They could do well without losing him. He's off getting treatment, Frank Lampard. Alex just about able to shackle Carew. Ashley Young. Bauma. Cole. Pizarro. He's given it away. Ashley Young. Pizarro. Joe Cole. Claudio Pizarro. Space in the heart of the field for Frank Lampard. Essien. Turned straight into trouble in the form of Ashley Young, who come across to make up the numbers, and Rio Coker can carry forward. Alex has committed himself. Agbon Lahore to his right. Gabby Agbon Lahore.
Well, the problems are piling up for Chelsea because Frank Lampard is clearly in trouble. He's just signalled to the dugout that he would like to come off. He has a thigh problem as Aston Villa break here. The ball once again to Agbon Lahore, fisted it across the box, just a little bit too firm, and it eludes Maloney at the back post.
Shevchenko. Perfect playing conditions, but the misfortune is raining down on Chelsea at the moment, largely inflicted by Aston Villa. Kalou. Well, they face their test under Avram Grant, the 2 defeats away at Old Trafford in his very first game, and the last away defeat the weekend before last at Arsenal against the top two. But this is an altogether different examination. On their home patch, the game has been taken to them by Aston Villa in the first half of this first half, and they have not stood up to the task too well so far.
It'll be interesting to see who comes on in place of Frank Lampard. Such an important player for Chelsea. They've got various options on the bench. Mikel, a midfield player. Sean Wright-Phillips can play wide, of course, releasing Joe Cole to come into the centre. But my guess is that it could be Michael Ballack.
So much spoken about Michael Ballack, as we have another look at this clash of heads, which has led to Andrei Shevchenko getting treatment. Well, now in the hour of need, can Michael Ballack come back off the treatment table, his first Premier League appearance of the season, and help get Chelsea back into this match? No doubt about it, Frank Lampard's not going to play any significant further part here. The big concern over him is to how much more they'll be seeing him over this busy Christmas period. Well, it is Michael Ballack. Little taste of action he got here in the Carling Cup win against Liverpool. The game largely taken care of by the time he was introduced there. And it's at the other extreme here at the moment, isn't it? Essien, Ballack. Well, gets an immediate welcoming committee from Nigel Reo-Coker, who might be lucky to escape the referee's notebook here. Well, a warning and nothing more for Aston Villa's combative midfielder. A free kick for Chelsea. Joe Cole will deliver. Ballack among those in there. Disappointment for Chelsea in terms of the delivery. Ashley Cole, Michael Essien, Ballack. Carvalho, Pizarro, good time run from the Peruvian.
Excellent ball. This is from Carvalho, playing on the right wing for a moment, puts in Pizarro, he puts it across the box, but once again confident handling from Scott Carson.
Ballack again locking horns with an Aston Villa midfielder. This time it's Gareth Barry. The man has come off second best. Straight away, right in the thick of it, the German international captain.
Well, it's clear use of the elbow there from Ballack. I think he knew exactly what he was doing there. Gareth Barry coming to close him down, using his elbow to try and hold the England international off, and he's caught one straight in the face. There it goes, right into the face of Gareth Barry.
Had the referee seen it from that angle, then the action might have been a little bit different. You just sense with the way it's been going for Aston Villa and Gareth Barry recently, that'll only go to add a little steely determination to the cause of getting something here at Stamford Bridge. Carvalho, Cole, Joe Cole looking for Ashley and picking him out. Ashley Cole goes down in the penalty area, no penalty given. Villa complete their clearance through Melberg. Ashley Cole found himself very well advanced, got on the end of the pass by Joe Cole. Not scored yet for Chelsea, but hoping to help them on a way to an equalising goal by earning the penalty. Phil Dowd unimpressed.
Well, I immediately looked at Phil Dowd's position, and he wasn't far from the action. He had an excellent position to look in on the incident.
Lawson. Ashley Young. Let's have another check on Phil Dowd's decision, Trevor, and see whether he got it right.
Well, the right hand of Lahore goes into the back of Ashley Coe. He obviously feels it, but I think he goes over a little bit too easily.
Shevchenko looking for Balak. Suspicions he might just have held onto it for a little long. Slides into the challenge with Ashley Young. I'll tell you what, there are a few challenges starting to go in there. Balak, Shevchenko.
You just feel that Phil Dowd has now got to get a firm grip of this game. Half an hour played, Aston Villa 1-0 up. One or two tasty challenges. It could boil over any moment.
Joe Cole does well to dig it out, looking for Kalu, but Carson again is very sure of decision. Well, it's beautifully set up, isn't it, here? There's everything that we hoped it might this match, a determined Villa performance and a real task on Chelsea's hands to get what they want out of this game, what they need out of this game to keep a title challenge alive. If Arsenal prevail at Portsmouth later in the Premier League, they'll be 9 points off the pace.
I'm a little surprised, Bill, how deep Pizarro is playing in this game. We talked about a 4-4-2 formation, but he's playing as the link man. Shevchenko is the lone central striker.
We talked about the flashpoints out on the field that Avram Grant surveys, but tell you what, the Michael Balak introduction has certainly livened things up in that early clash with Rio Coco, which he felt he should have got more for Michael Balak, and then of course that rather naughty challenge we saw on Gareth Barry. Just feel that might not be the end of that particular saga. February 2004, the last time that Chelsea were beaten in the Premier League on home soil. Still plenty of time to get the situation back in their favour. And it's going to be hard work. Essien. Joe Cole. Larson Rose Heights. On its way by Barry. The goal scorer Maloney. Melberg. Balak. Maloney's quick feet got him away from Kalu. Here is John Carew.
Well, the home fans are not happy with the linesman. It did look to me that as that ball was played, John Carew was a clear yard or two offside.
Carew uses his strength to get it away from Essien, touched by Ashley Cole. Lahore, Petr Cech did well. Right at him, but couldn't have seen much of it.
Once again, it's not great defending. Essien allows Carew to turn him too easily. The clearance doesn't get distance. Forced Lahore. On this occasion, his strike is on target, and Cech has to make the save.
Pizarro. Balak. Essien. Pizarro. Pizarro looking for Kalu. Only finding Gareth Barry making up the defensive numbers for Aston Villa. Aston Villa with the smallest squad in the Premier League, but so many of their players have featured in every game. No side in this division has had more regulars than Aston Villa have. They all know their jobs. They're all doing them pretty well so far to keep Chelsea at bay. It would be a big staging post if they could get to half-time with their lead intact. Joe Cole and Chelsea have other plans. Just under 10 minutes left on the first half. Sean Maloney's goal gives Villa a West London lead. Essien, Carvalho, Shevchenko, now Rio Coca. And a slide in Carew. Carvalho, Essien. Pizarro. Villa pressing means that Chelsea go nowhere except for backwards.
What they're doing, Aston Villa, is they're making Chelsea pass the ball, but it's all in front of their back four. They can't get in behind them. And of course, they're without the services now of Frank Lampard, who has got that ability to make runs in behind the back four.
Well, it's been an astonishing run by Chelsea in the Premier League over these last 4 years since Arsenal came here and won. But how many times have they been helped out by a late goal from Drogba or a sensational strike from Lampard? Neither of those two available to them here. They're going to need to do it another way. Take nothing away from the players who are out there and match winners all over the pitch. It's just going to be that they are going to need from a different avenue. Ballack. Stolen by Bonlahor. Streaks forward again. It's a terrific run again by Gabi Bonlahor. Alex comes across to cut him off. Carew. Carew doing an excellent burst forward himself. Now Pizarro, it's kept alive by Ballack. Here's Joe Cole. Shevchenko and Carew wait in the middle. Joe Cole can't get it through to them. Goal kick Aston Villa.
Excellent defending from Wilfried Balmer. He didn't go to ground. He stayed on his feet. He was strong, determined, shepherding that ball out for a goal kick when Joe Cole was looking to get to the byline to deliver a ball into the box. This is the chance for Bonlahor. Hits the target. Petr Cech makes the save. But they've certainly been good value, haven't they, for this lead?
We talked into the build-up to the game, Martin O'Neill, about the fact that his side against the Big Four needed to sustain a performance over a full 90 minutes. Joe Cole!
Well, that's about the first time they've got in behind the Aston Villa back four. It was a superb ball from Ballack. Plays it first time. Joe Cole in behind Balmer. Knows he has to do it early as the centre-half comes across to make the challenge, but it's straight at Scott Carson.
Well, that's what they need from Michael Ballack, the German national side. Build the team around him, just as Bayern Munich did for many years. He has to be the focus of pulling the strings for Chelsea here, just as he did there for Joe Cole. Young. Balmer. Essien for Joe Cole. Pizarro, Ballack. Touch into the path of Cole again. Taken care of by Larson, but at the expense of a Chelsea corner. Joe Cole, Alex Rosewell puts his head away.
He gets good elevation here, Alex. Gets up above Zach Knight, but couldn't direct his header towards goal.
Looking for his first goal here on home soil, Alex. Both his previous ones, at Rosenborg and against Middlesbrough, came at the grounds of the opponents. Just one defeat on the road in the last 9 months, Aston Villa. And judging by this first half performance, you can see why. Manchester City the only side to steal the spoils away from them. Done by Pizarro. Cole will leave it to Ballack. And that's the man who has made the difference.
This is the all-important goal. Agbonlahor delivers it to Carew, who shows great vision to head it back across to his striking partner Maloney, and he slots it past Petr Cech with ease.
Offside flag this time. Coming to Chelsea's rescue. Ballack. Kalou. Essien. Alex comes to join the attack. Still making his way towards the edge of the Villa penalty area here, Alex. Paulo Ferreira. Pizarro. Alex look for the return. Ballack as Chelsea look to keep the pressure on. Four blue shirts wait in the middle. Paulo Ferreira unable to pick them out. Carew. He's got Agbonlahor making inroads down the centre. And Maloney for support. Chelsea have their defensive rank smashed and they're able to bring it away again. Ferreira. Maloney. Have a shimmy to throw Pizarro off the scent. Sean Maloney's already got one, and he's got another. Another mistake from Petr Cech, and another goal for Sean Maloney.
It all starts, you know, from the wide area. It's a brilliant dummy that Maloney produces. That gives him the space. He can't believe it, Maloney. He must have been pleased getting his shot on target, but he would never have expected Petr Cech to make that kind of mistake. That's the dummy, deceives Pizarro, comes on the inside of Alex. Alex needs to get tighter and closer to the player. The shot comes in, and that's an absolute howler, isn't it, from Petr Cech? It's too easy the way he comes inside Alex, hits the target. And that doesn't need me to tell Petr Cech is awful.
So uncharacteristic. You think about the one at Arsenal where he misjudged a corner, but that one perhaps even worse. Patched up and rushed back into the side, Petr Cech. Oh, Chelsea paying the price for that.
Well, when you see Petr Cech make a mistake like that, you just wonder, is he actually 100% fit? Is he trying to cover something up? Is he hiding something, trying to make that save? Because that wasn't what we've come to expect from one of the top keepers in European football.
(2-0) the scoreline earlier on this season. Chelsea beaten that day. Pizarro looking to run in behind, but Scott Carson, who's been faultless in what he's been asked to do so far in this first half as we go into the 2 added minutes. Well, who could have foreseen this outside the Villa camp? Chelsea trailing by 2-0 at home on Boxing Day. Their unbeaten home record hanging by a thread. Messier. Kalou, who gave the ball away for the first goal in the build-up to allow the cross to come in from Agbonlahor. Essien. Joe Cole. Here's Paulo Ferreira. One back for Chelsea here would alter the picture dramatically. Kalou. Ashley Cole. Salomon Kalou. Puts it into the mix that night there. Here's Michael Essien. A turn from Ballack, goes down under pressure, and Chelsea have the penalty.
Well, undoubtedly Chelsea get fortunate here. Essien really should have hit it first time. Elects to come onto his left foot. Doesn't get a good strike on it, but the ball somehow gets through to Michael Ballack, who gets go side. I think he invites the challenge. It comes in, I believe, from Zach Knight. There's Michael Ballack, there's the challenge from Zach Knight. Ballack goes over, inviting Phil Dowd to give the penalty, which he has done.
Well, the Chelsea crowd paying for a red card for Zach Knight, denying a goal-scoring opportunity. For all the world, it looks like Villa will be reduced to 10 men as this match hitches on a dramatic turnaround in first half stoppage time. Zach Knight, the hero against Chelsea back in September, is sent off back in West London. Villa down to 10 men, and with every chance that their lead will be halved.
Well, Michael Ballack's clever, isn't he? There was minimal amount of contact, but he threw himself to the ground, making sure that A, he was going to win the penalty, and B, he did his absolute utmost to make sure Phil Dowd was in a position where he could give a red card. It's a double whammy against Aston Villa at a crucial moment, right on the stroke of half-time. Another 30 seconds, they'd be celebrating a 2-0 half-time lead. Still could be that, of course, if Chelsea missed the penalty. Frank Lampard's not here to take it. Who's going to have the responsibility?
Well, Michael Ballack, so faultless from the spot for club and country, has taken a step back, and Andrei Shevchenko will take responsibility. The man who has scored penalties to win European Cups and missed penalties to lose European Cups. Scores for Chelsea, and they are right back in business. Just when they look down and out, their record signing gets them back into the match.
It's a well-taken penalty from Shevchenko, sending Scott Carson the wrong way. And what a lifeline that is for Chelsea. They've been second best throughout this first half.
Phil Dowd, the referee who awarded 2 penalties in the last Premier League match he took charge of and sent off one player, has awarded 1 and sent off 1, as this match has been turned on its head in first half stoppage time. Villa, good value, you have to say, for their 2 goals, both from Sean Maloney. They looked into control when Petr Cech spilled Maloney's second effort after he slid it home from close range for his first. But back came Chelsea, awarded a penalty for Balak's foul. Zat Knight, the man who did it, and up stepped Andrei Shevchenko. It's Chelsea 1, 10-man Aston Villa 2.